And in this, but I've been transformed. So have you. In this peaceable kingdom, there is a reversal of the values of the world with regard to power, recognition, status, so forth. In this new counterculture, Christians regard power as something to use in the service of others, right? Racial and class superiority. And I don't think we have any racists in this building. We had a Hispanic guy who was a board member for 9 years. We've had Ruth Mims, who was a black lady who was with me for 25 years here. She was Pentecostal Church of God, and she kept praying for me to get baptized with the Spirit and speak in tongues. One morning she said, "You got real close, preacher. You're going to get it sooner or later." I said, "If God wants to give it to me, I'll take it." 25 years, black lady. Had a three generation black family with us for about 3 or 4 years. We're not racist. We'll take anybody that God sends through the door. We don't judge by the color of the skin, but by the content of the heart. No matter what your color is. And so, all of the resources that may come to the Christian, the money, the power, the status, are to be used in beneficial rather than destructive ways. So, to understand why Jesus had to die in the economy of God, it is important to remember both the result of the cross, which was the costly forgiveness, and the pattern of the cross, which was the reversal of the world's values. Neither justice nor mercy loses out. Both are satisfied and fulfilled at once. The death of Christ was necessary if God was going to take justice seriously and still exercise love. And this same concern for justice and love should mark all of our relationships. I'm almost done. The stories that always seem to move us more deeply are those in which somebody faces great danger or even death in order to help somebody else, to save somebody else. There is almost no popular movie that doesn't make this its main theme. Several such stories and movies come to mind. A Tale of Two Cities, The Hiding Place. I guess the greatest one that was ever made was Saving Private Ryan. Great film, great story, really happened, didn't it?
Yeah.
Really happened. Saving Private Ryan. However, the Christian message is not simply a moving, fictitious story about somebody else that someone just made up. It is a true story, and guess what? It's about us. Because you didn't know you were in the Bible, did you? You're in the story. We're all in the story. Observing the good news, the gospel, from the outside stirred me. But when I realized that I was actually in the story, it changed me forever. I'm in the story. You're in the story. He died for me. When he was on the cross, I was on his heart and his mind. He loves me. If I was the only person to ever be born, well, the human race would be in a lot of trouble. He would have loved me anyway. He would have died for me anyway. And so do you realize that you are in this story, personally, individually? And has it changed you forever? It can, if you're willing. It can, if you're willing. There is someone here, and I don't want to be rude. I'm not claiming I have a word, a prophetic word. That word prophetic is thrown around. I didn't get a prophetic word. I didn't get a word of knowledge. I didn't get any kind of no boogie woogie stuff here at all. I just have a strong feeling in my soul that somebody has been sitting on the edge of their chair all morning, and that this message was for you. And I'm not trying to psychologically manipulate you. I don't think I'm that low. I hope not. I just feel like this was for somebody. Do you realize that you're in the story? You are. And it can change your life forever. There have been people who walked into this little obscure country church. Ken Smith, about 8 or 9 years ago. 29-year-old kid. Stood to introduce himself as a new visitor. I'm Ken Smith, and I'm a heroin addict, and I came to see if God could set me free. He did. It was the end of his heroin connection when he walked out the door. God set him free in this little church. If he can deliver that kid from heroin, he can deliver you from anything. Do you have a grudge against somebody who's hurt you real bad? God can give you, when you realize the pain that Jesus Christ, God himself, suffered in order to absorb your sin, my sin, and realize that he can give you the strength to absorb the evil that someone has perpetrated against you. And then you will be free from your desire to hurt, to get vengeance. Okay? Let's go ahead and sign off on the internet. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.